What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Roundtable Sports. I am your host, Tony Dow, and we will be discussing Week 1 NFL Power Rankings. Week 1 is in the books. Now we have a new set of 1 through 32 for the NFL. All right. We're going to discuss that and more right here on Roundtable Sports. But before we do, we want you to know that this stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 150% sign up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 using BetUS. If you're looking for a new sports book, BetUS is the place to be. All you have to do is use code YouTube150. I repeat, YouTube150, and you can take advantage of the latest odds and the sign up bonus of 150%. Tonight, the Buffalo Bills take on the Miami Dolphins, so those props are up. Get in on the action at BetUS. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel. Hit that like button on your way in the building, and we're going to dive in, and we're not going to waste any time, ladies and gentlemen. But here we are, okay? The NFL power rankings for BetUS after Week 1. We're going to start at the bottom of the map, and we have the Carolina Panthers, all right? The Carolina Panthers just continue to struggle, ladies and gentlemen. Bryce Young is being questioned on whether or not he is a franchise quarterback in the NFL. I'm going to be quite honest with you. This team just can't get it together, and it doesn't look like they will get it together. They are a close second to only the New York Giants, all right, as being the worst team in the NFL. Daniel Jones also just seems like he can't get it right. Now, I know a lot of people point to the offensive line and other factors, but at the end of the day, to have play as bad as we've seen is just not a good look, okay? Usually rounding out the bottom of the list are teams that are struggling at the quarterback position. Bryce Young being one of those quarterbacks and Daniel Jones being another. Then when you go to the Denver Broncos at number 30, Bo Nix. A lot of people were high on him from what he was producing in training camp, but the real season has begun and you're playing against all starters. It is not the same, and he found that out in Week 1. The Denver Broncos will struggle as long as they don't have great play at the quarterback position. Next up, the Tennessee Titans. I know that some people may say this is very low. This is very low for the Titans, who were able to come out and show that they have a really good defense. They really do have a good defense. And, you know, I can't so much disagree with it, but at the same token, Will Levis cannot allow the hard work of the team to go down the drain by turning the ball over late and then causing them to lose games this season that they otherwise should win. Honestly, they should have won versus the Bears this week. Shame on Will Levis for dropping this game for his team. Tennessee Titans, great defense, but you can throw it all away with the bad quarterback. Will Levis has to be better. Next up, we're going to go to number 28 with the Las Vegas Raiders, all right? We're talking about Gardner Minshew and company, who got routed by a team that nobody had any expectations on, and that was the Chargers. They just came in with a balanced attack, played good football, ran the ball, efficient passing by the quarterback, Harbaugh, and the Raiders just couldn't contend. They kept it close for quite a while, but then it got out of hand. And at the end of the day, the Raiders need a better identity. Who are they? What are they? What do they do well? Hopefully we can find out this week, and maybe they move up or maybe not. We shall see. All right, next up, the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson comes out to play. Oh, boy. How was he? Well, not great, okay? Anthony Richardson, once again, he's an individual that showed some spark the previous year. People feel like there was hope in him, but he came out in yesterday. Well, he came out in the game over the weekend, and at the end of the day, gotta be better. You gotta be better. This team is actually a mystery team. I feel like they should be doing a whole lot better, and that they are going to do better. But right now, they are one of the worst teams in the NFL until they get solid, consistent quarterback play. I mean, that offense pretty much didn't produce half of anything. They got to be better. Let's move on to number 26 with the Washington Commanders, ladies and gentlemen. This is like a vague team. It's like, I love Jaden Daniels. I love the help that he has. But this team overall, are they coached well? How do you feel about the coaching staff over there? At the end of the day, another team that just has to continue to grow. I like what they're doing in their process of growing, but at the same token, the way I look at it, they just are a year or two away from actually being respected if they can continue to draft and develop on the right pace. So the Commanders, I'm going to be keeping a closer eye on for the details on the roster of how they can, move up this chart or move down, but they got to win games. They got to win games. All right. Next up, the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh man, some could argue they should have been lower than this. But I'm gonna be honest, there's a little bit of bias in this, knowing that they start out rough every year. The way that they played over the weekend, they probably should be a bottom 5 team. But right here on this chart, they're a bottom 8 team. And it's a little bit of bias because this is just what they do. And I don't know why. They come out the gate every single season and they struggle. They struggle right away. And they usually pick it up, but they have some issues at the wide receiver position. Joe Burrow isn't playing great. A lot of people saying Chase got shut down. I beg to differ. 6 for 6 on his catches. Throw him the ball more. Even if a guy is on him, let him make a play because he wants money as if he can make the play even when guarded. So give him the opportunity to do so. But the Bengals getting beat by the Patriots is the shocker of all. The Patriots had zero expectations, and they came out and played great defense, ran the ball well, and came out with a victory, kind of like the Chargers. Let's move on, though. At number 24, the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins in town, his debut to show everybody Atlanta has arrived and they are going to be a great team. Well, were they? Did he arrive? Are they a great team? Sure, didn't look like it. The Pittsburgh Steelers were able to get the W, and Pittsburgh didn't look great either, but they did enough to win. You expected a whole lot more from the Atlanta Falcons, and you just didn't get it. Shame on them. They got to be better. At number 23, the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson. Yes, more legal troubles, and at the end of the day, he's just not looking like the Deshaun Watson of old. Has that ship sailed? That's what the debate is. But at the end of the day, this team has more issues than Deshaun Watson. Now, I understand that they went up against the Dallas Cowboys, and they are a great team, and they put the pedal to the metal. But at the same token, his O-line didn't look great. Receivers didn't look great. And the defense, you expected a lot more, just got obliterated. Man, look for them to do better in next week, but if they don't, they can continue to fall. But I think they'll rise, but time will tell. All right. Going over to the Rams. Oh, man, heartbreaking loss. Also a heartbreaking personnel loss in Puka Nacua. But Cooper Kupp was there to rebound and become the Cooper Kupp of old. It felt like he had 500 catches for 2,000 yards in that game because it was the Cooper Kupp show, and I just love watching him when he's going off. But it wasn't enough to win. The Lions got the better of him, but I don't want to look too deep into it because at the end of the day, they played okay. They lost key players, but I knew whoever got the ball in overtime first was going to win, and they did not win the toss. So therefore, the Lions beat them. Okay. Then you go to the Arizona Cardinals. Man, I'm going to be honest. I personally should have put the Arizona Cardinals a little lower, but I'm going to be respectful and just wait to see a little more, okay? They did put up a respectable amount of points on the Buffalo Bills. They played solid defense. They played solid offense. They played great special teams because they were one of the few teams in the NFL to score on special teams over the weekend. But at the end of the day, I just don't respect Kyler Murray. I mean, at the end of the day, he has like a 40% winning record in the NFL. He just can't find a way to win, riddled with injuries. Now he's healthy and he's still not winning. He's going to have to punch in winning seasons in order to get the respect necessary. The Arizona Cardinals aren't going anywhere if they don't start winning. And right now they're at number 21. Then at number 20, the New York Jets, a team that would have started in the top 10 preseason, but the way that they got beat by the San Francisco 49ers was just absolutely embarrassing. The messed up part about it is you kind of see the flashes from Aaron Rodgers where he can provide great play from you. Garrett Wilson as well. Well, Breece Hall being up and down, running well for the night, but also turning the ball over cannot happen. And the defense, that was the shocker of it all. This is why they fail so much, because you expect that defense to lead the way and keep this a close game. They got absolutely obliterated by a guy nobody's ever even heard of in Mason. With McCaffrey out of the game, they couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass. Third down efficiency on defense was horrible. They just got beat bad, and it was actually embarrassing. You expected, even if they started out rough, for it to be better, and it just wasn't. I think they'll rebound, Bo, but right now they're going to pay for it being at number 20. Then we're going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who lost a tight game against the Miami Dolphins in Miami, inter-Florida conference rival. Listen, they controlled this game from the beginning, but they let it get out of control by the second half. The Miami Dolphins made the proper adjustments, and they beat the Jags, did not allow them to score a single point since halftime. They were able to come back off of a heroic fumble strip by Javon Holland, who punched it out of Etienne's stomach. And at the end of the day, once that happened, the game was over. The Dolphins start routing them at that point. Tyreek woke up, Tua woke up, Waddle woke up, and the defense really woke up. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, not a bad team, but they suffer a nasty loss. So they're at 19. Then at 18, the New England Patriots. We're talking about a winning team here, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody has any expectations for them with the new coach, new quarterback, with the bridge quarterback. And we know that they brought back a lot of good pieces on their defense, but they showed up and showed out. Now, maybe let me backtrack that. They showed up. They didn't show out, but they showed up enough to look like they showed out. The New England Patriots, led by defense, they absolutely shut down the Bengals, did not allow them any room. You got studs on that defense like Gonzalez and company. They did their thing on the defensive side of the ball. Also, Ramondre Stevenson just ran all up and down the field. You do those two things, you can keep every game close, and you got a chance to win, and that's what they did versus the Bengals. So they get a little respect at number 18. If we were talking preseason, it would have probably been in the bottom 4. So congratulations to the Patriots, but we'll see if you can keep it up. Next up, the Minnesota Vikings, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy, Sam Darnold just goes off. Like, who was he? Sam Darnold putting in work? That was a shocker of all shockers, ladies and gentlemen. I was actually shocked to see the Vikings do what they were doing, but they're also led by defense. I think the league's defenses are playing a lot better right now, but it was week 1, overreaction. So we'll see how it fares out as the season goes on, but Minnesota finds a little spark. We know they have the weapons. It's just a matter of their QB play. Sam Darnold proved to be a solid player for him. We'll see if he can keep that up at number 17. Going to number 16, the Pittsburgh Steelers. We talked about this earlier with the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know how they win. They always win, though. And I'm going to be honest with you. This flabbergasts me. They don't do anything special but play defense and just manage the game. But somehow when the clock has an F on it and it's final, they find a way to win more games than they lose. And that's what they did versus Atlanta. All right, so good job to Pittsburgh. Tomlin knows what he's doing. Then at number 15, right in the middle of the pack as well, the LA Chargers, ladies and gentlemen. Harbaugh coming in, installing a new just atmosphere, chemistry, or whatever you want to call it with the Chargers. Herbert, he doesn't have to put everything on his shoulders now. He leads by defense on the defensive side of the ball. Then on the offensive side of the ball, run the rock and let Herbert pick up the third downs where necessary, dink and dunk, and just do what you got to do to not lose the game. And that's what they did with Harbaugh's first win as a Chargers head coach, and doing it in a actual nice fashion, by the way. All right. Then you move on to number 14, the Seattle Seahawks. This is a good one here. Seattle Seahawks, I like the defense of what I'm seeing right now. The offense is going to be what it is, but I really like Geno Smith taking off, running a little, putting the team on having a little bit of that Josh Allen effect, putting the team on his back. I'm eking out a victory over the weekend. Congratulations to them being at number 14, but they got a good test this week. We'll see if they can keep that up. Then the Chicago Bears. Oh boy. We're talking about a team that went down 17-0 and found a way to come back and win 24-17. They should be sending a gift to Will Levis's house, because he gifted them 2 gifts late in the game, interceptions, helping them come back. Caleb Williams, his debut, he becomes the first rookie overall first-round pick quarterback to actually win a game since 2002, if I'm not mistaken. But let's say this, he still has a lot of room for improvement. He did not have the greatest of games, but what I will say is he didn't do enough to help his team lose. Will Levis did. So he gets his first victory in the NFL. team at 13, and that defense is pretty nice, by the way. All right, at number 12, the Buffalo Bills beating up on the Arizona Cardinals, ladies and gentlemen. This wasn't that impressive to me, even though they beat them, put up about, was it 28 points if I'm not mistaken? Because the Arizona Cardinals, the Buffalo Bills special teams needs to be better. They gave up a special teams touchdown, one of the only scores on special teams over the weekend, and the Arizona Cardinals gave them a little battle. And I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are that good of a team, but the Buffalo Bills do what good teams do, and they win anyway. Josh Allen carried the team on his shoulder on the back end, but this team needs a little help at the wide receiver position and in the secondary. They're still up there, but they moved down a little at number 12. All right. Then you have the Green Bay Packers, tough loss to the Eagles. This was a solid team, just a great team. They just got the better. The Eagles got the better of them because the Eagles are also a great, solid team, but the Green Bay Packers lose Jordan Love in this one, and that's going to be tough because they have to move forward with Malik Willis. Look for their ranking to go down, but right now I have them at the 11th spot with the loss because it's still a really good team. Then at number 10, the Miami Dolphins, kind of similar to Green Bay. Even though the Dolphins won, they are a good team. They played another good team in the Jags, but they didn't do it in I would say a more convincing fashion. You would have liked for them to do it in a more convincing fashion if they were true, real contenders for a Super Bowl. Not to say they won't be, but right now they got some work to do. But they do play the Buffalo Bills in the division and a conference win this week. We'll see what they do there because they can move up the charts with the win. All right. Then the Detroit Lions, man, oh man, they did not play their best football at all, but we know that they have better football in them, but they still were able to get the win over a good football team in the Rams. And like I said earlier, whoever run that coin toss was going to win the game. The Lions win the coin toss, but they did enough to win this game, and we know they played a bad game. That speaks for itself. Sometimes when you don't play well and you win anyway, that means you got a whole lot more upside. I have the Lions at number 9. Then you have the Philadelphia Eagles, not far off. We talked about the Green Bay Packers. They beat the Green Bay Packers. They did enough to win. It was a hard-fought game. This was not a cakewalk. Hurts did enough. The wide receiving core did enough. They ran the ball enough. It was tough. It came down to the wire, and lucky them. They never had Jordan Love to see if he can pull off the comeback victory, and they sealed the deal, getting the win over the Packers at number 8. Now, number 7, the New Orleans Saints. Yes, I have them high because they shocked me. I know that they didn't play anybody. They played one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NFL, but they did it impressively. Derek Carr looks like he could be an MVP candidate after that performance, and they just straight up routed the Panthers. And that's how you put up a win, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you do it. If you're a better team, you do it in convincing fashion. So the Saints get rewarded for that. They're at number 7. We'll see if they can maintain that with a better competition this weekend. All right, then you go to number 6 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another team that I'm just highly impressed with. Baker Mayfield is shocking me. I wasn't a Baker Mayfield believer, but what I'm seeing right now on the field is anything short of genius. He's playing great football. Mike Evans might be one of the most underrated wide receivers in the game. Great defense as always with a good coaching staff, and they find ways to win. They might even have a chance to win the division. So I'm loving it. Bucks at number 6. Yes. Number 5, the Baltimore Ravens. Man, they take a tough loss from the Kansas City Chiefs. Honestly, they could have been anywhere in the top 5, but they go at the bottom because they did take a loss. And here's why. Because you had this preview last year in the AFC Championship game. You didn't get better. You might have gotten better, but the Chiefs might have gotten even more better than the Ravens. So you have to pay for that. At the end of the day, a lot of people expected the Baltimore Ravens with the new addition of Derrick Henry to come in and show that they got better by getting the win. They did not get the win. They have to be better executing late in games. And the Ravens still are a great team, though. You don't look at their loss and think that they're on the bottom half of the team. Man, they just went up against the best team, the Super Bowl champs, and they held their own, just came up short. At number 4, the Houston Texans rocking and rolling. This is a happy happy team. They got Stephon Diggs happy over there, connecting with the CJ Stroud, who's a phenom. I mean, it's just good times over there, okay? They're having a lot of fun, defense playing well enough, and they're squeaking out victories. Now, can they stay in the top 5? That's going to be the question, because they do have a difficult schedule. We'll see how they maintain as time goes on. They are coached well. That's the team I want to keep an eye on the power rankings, all right? Now, at number 3, the Dallas Cowboys. Congratulations, Cowboys fans, because your team looked like they were ready to compete for a Super Bowl when they beat up on the Browns. And that is not an exaggeration. I'm not even the biggest of Cowboy fans, but you got to give credit where credit is due. They came, they showed up, they showed out in every facet of the game. They had a great pass rush, linebackers playing aggressive, secondary locking down. When you look at the offensive side of the ball, CeeDee Lamb is going to be CeeDee Lamb. Dak Prescott showed how happy he was to get his contract and balled out. Just a great game all the way through, and that secondary being back healthy shows the difference, all right? Dallas at number 3. At number 2, the San Francisco 49ers, ladies and gentlemen, the way they demolished the Jets and went down the field and couldn't be stopped and kept stopping the Jets. Listen, I don't even have to say much. You don't have Christian McCaffrey and your replacement comes in and plays like Christian McCaffrey. They just have too many weapons, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone says it's only Trent Williams, no one else, but I'm sorry. It's a lot more than Trent Williams. You don't have to give those other 5 offensive linemen credit, but they're playing like they deserve the credit. They played a great game. Purdy managed the game very well. And let me stop saying managed. You're starting to disrespect him. Purdy played a great game. Purdy played elite. Purdy delivered the football when he needed to. Purdy called the plays. Purdy called the audibles. Purdy did everything he needed to do. He balled out, okay? He took it to the Jets. He led the way as the franchise quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Man, they're a scary team, and they look really, really, really good, y'all. Too many weapons. They can go as far as Jennings, and every time it was a 3rd and 6, Debo's covered, Ayuk is covered, Kittle's covered, Jennings first down. Pick your poison. Pick your poison. And just imagine when McCaffrey come back. I mean, they have weapons. All right, so at number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. No secret here. Started the season versus Baltimore, but let's say this. Patrick Mahomes is on a whole new level. He has a whole new level of weapons. This team just can't be stopped. The defense is still top-notch. They're playing great football against Baltimore, who can put up points and shut them down almost. And at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is looking to be a 5,000-yard and 50-touchdown quarterback this year, probably an MVP front-runner. They are looking to do something no one has ever done, and that is three-peat. Man, you got some tough teams at the top of the board between Kansas City, San Francisco, Dallas, Houston, and Baltimore, and a lot of other great teams. But Kansas City right now reigns supreme at number 1. Stay tuned right here to Roundtable Sports in the future so that you can get every week's power rankings right here on Roundtable Sports. Thank you for tuning in. We love you all. This stream was being powered by BetUS. Receive a 150% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 using code YouTube 150, ladies and gentlemen. Take advantage of it. The odds are out right now. The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins getting ready to play for Thursday night. Make sure you go check out those odds and take care of business if you're looking for a new sports book. Make sure you gamble responsibly. We love you all. We appreciate you all. We will see you soon. Peace. We are out.
Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from your favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST, the AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST, the NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST, the AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST, the NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports, real coverage from real fans.